Alright, welcome back to the Odryssian Kingdom campaign, picking up, of course, right where we left off with our preparations to move into Asia Minor. Now we're completing a bunch of construction. Our admiral died, which is a little sad, but that's okay. Dude was getting old, it was time to go. These guys are back up to full strength, except for, of course, the two missing units. These guys are still recuperating. You lot are going to be back up to full health in no time. Why are they replenishing so quickly? Like, with how little population we have, I feel like they shouldn't be replenishing like that. Alright, now we're going to need our siege equipment for Tushpa. Let's check out what we're doing over here. That's one thing we can do. We can actually... We're losing a little bit of veterancy, but really not much, so that's okay. But if you look... Actually, let's do this real quick. Their missile damage right now is 211. We have no option to upgrade them. If we recruit some siege units now, the damage is 228. So that extra boost I definitely want. And I might consider ditching some of these lower tier units as well. Because one thing I'm starting to think this faction has is most of its military should come from its warrior population rather than the freemen. So I maybe don't want quite so many freemen. Oh, we can definitely get rid of the baggage train for now, though. Let's go ahead and get one of these units of Thracian Thorax infantry, unless anything else happens to catch my eye. Nah. Let's get one of those guys and see how they do. Still have a tiny bit of replenishing to do. Okay, so we're getting our economy pretty well handled. I could do with the Empire maintenance reduction and the increased party loyalty. So that's probably the route I will go. I don't really need that, but if I get that real quick and then I get this, I can have the boost for movement range, which is always nice. Recruitment costs and upkeep costs down would be helpful. But yeah, let's go ahead and just do that. We've already moved everyone who needs to move this turn. We're going to have to replace this as well, so let's actually just get rid of it now, because that might let us move a little faster. And unfortunately we've just moved off the road by 2 inches. And so now we're taking attrition next turn, which is a little annoying. You guys, you know what? Did we get a proper military recruitment building, or naval recruitment building over here? We did not. Alright, well, in any case, let's just go ahead and go over here and patrol. How much gold is it going to give us? 0. Alright, that's fine. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about this front, because if I go to war with the Seleucids, I know Pergamon is really not going to like that. And Pergamon evidently has some pretty stinking strong armies out here. So I would have to, well, I could probably play defensive and then just slowly crush on them from the east. Let's go ahead and upgrade that right now. We were going to do supply over here. These guys were popping across. It's unfortunate that they can't quite... Maybe I'll wait another turn so they can hopefully make it. We'll pop them out of the settlement and let them patrol for a turn, though. Well, nah, whatever. We'll just leave them there. Because I don't think we can afford to stay in the water with this fleet of pirates right here. We're going to pop over that... Well, we have to wait 5 turns anyway for that missile damage boost. So yeah, let's just go ahead and go here and patrol. We've definitely got time. Definitely have time before either of these two nations go after us. If I had to guess, I would say Carthage declares war first, because they're actually looking really, really strong right now. I've not seen Carthage have this much success in Iberia. Of course, I guess to be fair, that's because the only other DEI campaign I did, I was Rome, and I just went and killed them. Parthia still hates us. I don't want anything with them, though, because we're on the brink of war. Alright. Did anyone level up that I need to look at? No. No one's in negative public order, no one is decreasing, no one is out of food. So let's go ahead and keep throwing money at these... Whoa! Oh, his loyalty dropped because it's a new guy. We're actually losing influence slowly. Do the chieftains own any land? So, like, if we had a secession from them, would that... Ooh, yeah, that would take some pretty vital land. But I don't think it would give them any of our armies, because all of our armies are commanded by men from our family. Right? That's how it should work, isn't it? So would the AI just create armies for them, or would I just have to deal with the garrisons at first? I don't know, I don't really want to lose 3,000 income and access to a bunch of my good population over a secession right now. Alright, so let's go back to what we were doing. Let's see. Still, nobody has come of age just yet. I'm waiting on this kid. And this kid. But in the meantime, you, sir, can't actually do that yet. Let's send them as a diplomat to Pergamon for now. That'll boost their loyalty, but we can't really gain anything from it, but whatever, we'll call that good for this turn.
Only the greatest dare speak.
All right. I wish there was an option to request that, or an option to give a settlement to a neighbor. I mean, okay. Public order is a little low here. That's actually a bit annoying, to be honest. Because now we don't have a nice choke point we can defend, and we would actually lose something if we go to war with Pergamon right now. But it has... Well, I was hoping it had boosted this. He's a patriot, so why is he upset? Enemy army present in my territory. Would that just be the pirates? Yeah, it's probably just the pirates. Let's go for wealth here. So we've gotten our new units here. I would kind of like to wait to begin this offensive until Grumpy's Guard gets down here, because I really want to get these hoplites very elite very quickly. Like high veterancy and all that. Plus, once we have a third army down here, we can be a little bit more careful about controlling our fronts. But we can step across the border and do some raiding. So that has boosted our income quite nicely for this turn. Oh no, I'm so dumb. So remember, the initial damage was 211. With the level 2 building, we bumped it up to 228, but now we're going to have to ditch these and re-recruit them because the building hadn't even finished constructing. I don't know what I was thinking. Whoops. Public order is perfectly well managed. So let's go ahead and just send these guys over to drop off a couple of units here. Well, what units can they recruit here? We'll just recruit some more Scythian horse archers and then send these guys down. So I'd like to have an extra army here just to hold one of my flanks. So I can have two armies push together, one army take on stuff on the side, but I need someone to be able to play some defense. So I might need to recruit another army over there and just crap stack it, just so we have some extra bodies to help out on defense. Because obviously as we expand, the more we have to defend, and that means the more troops we need. Because basically at this point there are no more choke points for us. Once we push past these 3 settlements, we don't really have the 3 individual choke points we can hold. We have to hold a whole bunch more. Let myself get distracted. Okay, we'll just do a quick check on everyone because I haven't looked in much detail at each of my provinces in a little while. What kind of penalties is this going to have? Huge public order problem. Does a little bit to the banditry. But public order is good here. What kind of money does it give us? Extra 250 per turn. Maybe not just yet on that one. Kavkazos, because we have taken our armies and characters out of there, is no longer in the positive on public order. And that's because we're raiding ourselves. I keep forgetting that that's a thing. Now we should be back in the positive. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Italia. Don't have much food. But we're good on public order, so let's go ahead and boost the food now. We might have to start researching tribal totem, just so we can get all of, like, we can get the inn upgraded in all of our provincial capitals. So that'll hurt the public order pretty bad. Squalor, we should be fine, because we've got this thing. Now, would it be worth upping this? Let's go ahead and do it anyway. Sarmatia, everything is maxed for what we can do right now. We have enough food here that we can boost one of these buildings. Let's go ahead and go for income right now. The other one doesn't take banditry away, does it? It does not. So we'll go ahead and keep waiting over here. The banditry's not like a huge problem right off the bat. Everywhere else is set to go. So let's throw a little more money at some of these. Dude, this guy. Problem is, if I assassinate him, it doesn't get rid of the Thracian chieftains, it just makes them less loyal and has a new character here. Plus, I don't even know if I have anyone who could assassinate him. This guy maybe could. You know what? Let's do it. Attack with that guy. He's dead now. See, it just instantly gets another person, and he actually hates us more because he's a pacifist and we're at war with 3 factions, so that was maybe a mistake. Alright, well, whatever. We had some fun with that in turn. I don't often actually use... because generally speaking, it's just not very beneficial.
Will you not give our people a little go?
Are we actually going to have a fight on our hands? Or is that going to be like a 6-unit army and then a general that just got recruited?
A token, perhaps a modest gift of coin.
That's actually kind of tempting.
We will see you in a new light.
Just to secure our northern border a little better. But nah, not for now. We've got enough money that I think we can peace out with just about anyone that declares war on us. Okay, so we'll actually have a little bit of a fight on our hands, which is nice. But we're not going to take it yet. We're actually going to let them build up some more. Rico, man, why is it always over here? Still got 3 turns before we need to move these guys across the ocean. You know what, let's just do it now while they have the range. No, 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 I messed it up. I hate that. You gotta click in the water and then on land. I hate when I do that. Oh well. They should still have enough movement range next turn. Now this army, now that Pergamon actually has like some pretty elite units recruited, I really don't know if this army will be able to hold up. Because these guys are reasonably heavy. These guys are okay, but neither of them are that great. The main problem being that they just don't have a lot of armor. Let's actually swap the mercenaries out for some hired units, like not some hired units because we hired the mercenaries, but for some auxiliary units instead. Now, I just want to double check. I'm not going to do it with these guys, but there really isn't an option for me to make them a client state, is there? So that's kind of unfortunate, because that's a really, really useful thing to be able to do in this game. Is have client states and satrapies, because it means you don't really have to defend that land, but you don't have to worry about them fighting you. Oh yeah, these guys recruited, that's why they're out of the fortified stance. You guys will get here in a couple of years, I suppose. These guys will take just as long, but they're just about back up to full strength. Once we get them into here, we can also recruit another unit. Did anyone level up? And did anyone undeploy? You know what, real quick, did I lose any of my agents? No, I did not. Alright. Well, these guys will hate us for a while. I almost wonder if it'd be worth assassinating him, too. Yeah, having continuous loyalty issues actually drives me crazy in this game. So we are Imperium level 5. So we could do this if we got our influence up above 65%, which we've actually dropped down quite a bit to 50%. So if we were to do that, we would definitely have a civil war on our hands. But afterwards, we should have much better loyalty from all of our political parties. Maybe I just need to promote some of these characters, because that's where a lot of the loyalty is coming from with the SD nobles. In any case, let's end the turn.
You have been blessed with courage, so will you agree?
Oh, not Bendidora. Where are these guys, even? Weird. Okay, let's actually do this correctly this time. Okay, they're not recruiting, but they at least have some troops here now. You guys go ahead and back off, get your... See, the 211 was the damage that the ballistas did, 211, and then it went up to 228, and now it's all the way up to 245, so it's definitely worth re-recruiting. Grumpy's guard just about back up to strength. Everyone else is situated how they need to be. Let's go ahead and let things settle down here before we do too much more construction. We really don't need a spy here anymore because we have an army here to look at what's going on, so let's send a spy over this way and see what the Seleucids are doing. One of the dangers of going to war with them is they have 2 fleets here, which could potentially maybe take on a place like Phasis. Maybe. Like, if we left this place undefended, they might go attack it and try and take it. Ugh. Well, it looks like Parthia is going to be just as much of a problem as the nomads. Which makes sense. I mean, Parthian horse is pretty incredible. I mean, just look at these guys. They would destroy any cavalry I could hire. Alright, is there anything else that really needs to happen this turn, or am I still just waiting for a bit? Let's go with the Empire Maintenance Reduction, because that has a pretty significant effect on our base income. I'm still debating rehiring this army. But all of this in good time. Now, I didn't realize, but we actually do have a 12% chance of getting a rebellion already from these guys, which means it'll probably happen at some point. We really need to make sure these guys don't rebel. Even though they don't have a military commander, I just don't want them to rebel. Problem is, we don't really need either of these two things. And I don't like to send diplomats out too frequently. You know what, let's do this. Let's do a little roleplay. Let's send a diplomat to the Seleucids and let them know we want their land. And if they don't break off their satrapy agreement with the Sinope usurpers, that we're going to go to war with them.
So that you may speak well and persuade me of
Break satrapy status for these guys. Nah. Alright, so our diplomat has been sent with our terms. We'll go ahead and enter this. I don't want to break off anything with Pergamon just yet.
One sacrifice is needed on the altar.
Yeah, Knossos, you shouldn't have ended your defensive alliance with me, should you? Ah. Heck yes. Who is it, though? Alright, so our diplomat to the Seleucids. He was bribed into betraying us instead of pushing our terms, and so we have no choice but to declare war. This could be a really, really bad idea, but whatever, let's go with it.
I am honored to greet such an ambassador of such worthy people. My ears tingle with anticipation.
You know what, let me double check on these usurpers real quick, because if you remember, they declared war on us a little while ago. We went and attacked them and weakened them, and then that's why the Seleucids could even make them a satrapy. So they don't have much of a fleet, so we don't need to worry about anything out here. So you know what, let's declare war on these guys and see if that forces the Seleucids out.
Speak as you wish, without fear of consequence or danger.
Come on, go away, Seleucids. Do not defend your allies. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Remember your name.
I mean, we're still going to kill the Seleucids, just not yet. Movement range is absolutely horrible during winter. Absolutely dreadful. Alright, well, let's start to get this show on the road, shall we? Go ahead and surround them. That doesn't give us any extra abilities, but the extra infantry damage is always nice. And let's start moving into some authority with this guy. Man, I always get the hiccups when I start recording. Alright, now they basically don't have a garrison. They pretty much just have this little army. So I'll keep these guys here. If they happen to get any kills, then it's just a little boost of experience for them. Sally out. Don't sally out. Why? Why must you do this? Well, we can at least get a pretty good guess at what the AI is going to do this time. I didn't realize these guys had missiles. Now we don't need to go with a particularly wide formation. That's actually probably even wider than what we need, because they just don't have very many troops. And if we go too wide, then our guys won't be able to get involved, and it'll make our battle line a little funky. Basically, end of the day, it makes it a little bit harder to get the flanks in if your flanks start too far away. These noble peltas are starting to get some really, really good experience, which I like to see. We'll just go with the exact same format as last time. Go ahead and start moving forward. I wonder if, because I have artillery coming in as a reinforcement, I wonder if that will make them charge out to meet me instead of just sitting on the hill. Yep, see, that's kind of what I was expecting. So now let's go ahead and just stop where we are. Let's bring these guys up here. Let's see which units we actually care about getting involved. Wait a minute, where's our general in this army? There he is. So this pulls them away from their defenses. They lost a couple of guys by running through their own spike traps. You guys go ahead and fire at will. Since they're coming to meet me, the pikes can drop their weapons, or not, yeah, just drop your weapons, don't fight. No, they can drop their pikes down. These archers we'll go ahead and bring up here. See if we can get their cav out of the picture quickly. Now, it looks like they might be trying to spread us out just a little bit, so let's go a little bit wider. Try and avoid the javelins. I mean, someone's going to have to take them, but see if we can avoid them for now. Yeah, it looks like they took a little bit of a hit, but nothing too serious. Okay, let's reform a little bit, and by that I mean just turn a little bit, not really reform. You guys just go ahead and start moving up here. I don't really actually care what you do. Let's send these knights up, though. Okay, we'll go ahead and draw them back now. See if we can bring these guys over here back in towards the center. I'd rather not have to engage on the flanks. I want my pikes to do the work here. Okay, the AI is going to chase us around. Let's give them the order to fix their line. You guys, I don't know, shoot them. Go in guard mode and shoot them. You guys, come over here. Alright. So we've drawn off a ton of their guys. We're going to take a whole bunch of missiles. Where'd that unit... Oh, okay, so the unit of cavalry on this side died. They still have their general and this guy. So you guys... go skirmish that. You guys just give them a charge. You guys actually redirect and go kill that. Because the general's going to come in and help out over here. Okay, we'll start to give the attack orders across the pike line. Hold off on this one for a minute. Get away from the swords. Hopefully you can break them quickly. Oh, we've just charged straight into a bunch of spears. You know what? Where is the unit? Let's see if we can pull you guys back this way. Try and get a counter charge. Now you guys get going. Okay, still haven't engaged over here. Let's go ahead and just give an attack order. You guys reform that way. Not quite sure what happened there. You guys, of course, decimated your enemies. Now, what have I done with my peltasts? Get out of there. Okay, you guys, get your charge. You guys, come around and kill them. You two, just get away from the spears. You know what? That spear unit's already basically dead. Whatever. That's gonna hurt a little bit. You guys move around this way. Cavalry, I'm sorry, I'm so bad at micro. You guys reform because the AI decided to be stupid. Okay, so they just melted through their enemies.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
You guys go ahead and take them out. You guys hurry, reform, reform. Gotta get a charge with these guys or else we're not gonna do any good. You guys get on skirmish mode and skirmish them. Please tell me you're fast enough to run away.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
You guys shoot here, I suppose. I did ask you to skirmish, and you're on horseback, so it shouldn't be that difficult.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, the pikes are holding up pretty well. Archers are having fun doing their thing. Make sure they stay on guard. Okay, unfortunately these guys are out of ammo, so we need something to be able to deal with their general. Give them a volley, try and get them off the field. You guys get them off the field.
One of our units has used all its ammunition. The enemy general is dead.
Okay, everybody is victorious so far. Archers, go ahead and knock it off. Go ahead and hunt down as many of them as we can. Well, we didn't really get to watch much of it, but still had some fun there. This time, finally, we will actually take the settlement.
For the tribe! Ready for battle.
You know what, for now we'll go ahead and leave them in the settlement to hopefully keep that replenishment accurate. These guys will get here eventually, right? It doesn't look like they should take attrition there, so I think we're okay to keep sending them that direction. That's good. And they are in range to recruit another unit, but what unit do we want? So we got 7 hoplites, a whole bunch of swords, virtually no cavalry. And it's all skirmish cav. But you know what? With the hoplites, let's actually get one of these things. Force the enemy into our main line and then wrap them up with these. Now let's actually get rid of a couple of these units as well. And trade them out for some... Where are they? Well, 1, we'll trade them out for these guys, but 2, I want to get one of them. Oh, too far. Way too far. There we go. Because of the characters we have here, public order is already positive. And because we raised it, public order is already positive. Now these guys are going around, but that's not going to be enough men to take on one of my cities. However, they're not taking attrition yet, so Galatia must have... Okay, yeah, Galatia still does have 1 settlement, and that's enough to fund this army, which means they could potentially hire mercenaries and try and take out Kabbalah, but I very much doubt that will happen. Make sure everyone's deployed, make sure my fleet doesn't need supplies. Spearmen are going to take attrition because this is just an ugly territory. And even with your baggage train, you're still going to take attrition in bad areas. Alright, what's our chance of a rebellion? 1%. Is that because these guys aren't negative anymore? Is it because this guy's loyalty improved by 5? Either way, we need to get our influence up. So let's go ahead and we'll send you guys here. The faster we can get public order up to 100 here, the better. And then we will have our, we'll have our faction leader go ahead and gather support. That'll boost our influence by 2%, 3% actually. And the other people won't like us much for it, but whatever, we can kill them if we need to. And we'll end the turn.
Your wisdom is renowned.
I really don't need extra wars right now.
Peace is not an easy word.
I would actually really like for these guys to try and attack Nicomedia with 2 armies. I'd like them to send 2 armies and attack me at Nicomedia and let me do. Well, let's get him in the family as quick as possible. Because that means we can start having the next generation born. Let's see, still nothing needs to happen there. Loyalty is really tanking with these guys. But it's almost entirely because he's a pacifist. So, you're in the wrong game, buddy. It's called Total War, not Total Peace. Go ahead and give him that boost to authority and gravitas. And call that good for those guys. Now over here, yeah, we didn't get the replenishment we needed, so let's just pop back up here and get it. Okay, so let's go here and here, because that one was a misclick. You guys should get through soon enough. Since we are going to have war with Parthia soon, I'm kind of tempted to keep this army up here. Because I don't know if Parthia is going to send 220 stacks of horse archers up here and take me out. Of course, if I'm defending an actual walled settlement, if they do that, it'll be easy. So yeah, let's just go ahead and stick with the plan. Now up here, how bad is the public order penalty if we go into the city? Actually not too bad, so let's just leave him in there. Still letting some construction settle down before we do too much else. Armavir, we should be able to convert now. Missing 4 men out of that army. Alright, let's see if we can go catch him and stop him from raiding. Now over in Macedon, we have finished construction of our siege engineer's workshop. Don't really care about that because that's down in Saudi Arabia area. Okay. Now, do I get one or do I get two of these? That's the question. Because if I get one, will that be enough to actually do damage? But if I get two, will that be enough to replace an infantry unit or a cavalry unit? Let's just go with one. And then we'll stick with the infantry. I have never used these guys, but I would like to. And you know what, that would add a little bit more foreigner population. But they're medium spears, and I kind of want to have light spears to help the cavalry out. I probably need, well, if these guys are going to act as my, like, flank shock infantry, I need something to actually protect the pike's flanks. What the heck, we'll use these guys. So this army is almost entirely made out of warriors. There's a couple of elites, and then some foreigners, but mostly just warriors, which is good. Because I intend to station them in Italy. You know what? I say that, but Carthage isn't exactly breaking treaties with me. Nah, new plan. You guys are gonna come help in Asia Minor. I really want to use these guys, they look fun. And their damage is pretty dang high. Alright, has everyone moved? See, and this army should definitely be replenishing based on the amount of manpower available, but it says they're not going to replenish. I know I comment on that all the time, but it bothers me all the time. Did anyone level up that I'm forgetting about? Our fleet still does not need extra supplies. The pillagers get to hang out. They get to be the Fury now. Alright, so let's end it there. In a row of really slow moving campaign. But we've dealt with a major threat in the nomads. And we are just about regrouped and ready for Asia Minor.
Between friends, the gift of...
So I know I've been saying this for like 3 or 4 episodes by now, but we're finally in a spot where we can start fighting some real armies, hopefully. Or some armies I like fighting instead of just skirmish cav spam.
I offer peace as I...
Boom, nearly full health. Let's just start off with a bunch of food. Now they actually ran pretty far away, and I don't really want to give that much chase. So let's actually just go stand at the border here and get ready to go take out their capital. This army will definitely be able to handle their garrison by itself. I mean, it's Candy's Conquerors, for goodness sake. You guys just keep hanging out and replenishing. You guys get in position to wage war on the Seleucids. Now, Pergamon is actually amassing troops on my borders, it looks like, which makes me a little uncomfortable, because they've got some really, really good troops here. But we should still be friendly with them, right? Yeah, Pergamon still likes us quite a bit. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about them declaring war on us. Now, I don't think the Fury can take on this half-stack worth of garrison combined with the army and the fleet, because that's basically taking on 2 stacks. And where they're kind of like medium or light, well, they're not light, but they're just medium hoplites, I'm not sure we could do well with that. But maybe I'll go tempt them. Maybe I'll go challenge them and say, hey, I'm here, fight me. Do something about it. At least until this other army shows up. The only other thing that I really need to do is get these guys down here. We'll keep these guys in position to deal with Parthia. So we'll keep them kind of heavy on the skirmish cav. Yeah, screw it, let's just get a bunch of skirmish cav here. Called the spearmen, and now they only have 1 unit of spears. Whoops. Alright, in any case, pulling up on the end of this episode, we're getting back up towards a little bit of a risk of secession. Alright, let's see if we get that 15% chance. Our money's been hovering right around this mark for quite a while. Of course, I guess we've been spending quite a bit on recruitment and building lately. But that should be enough to deal with a secession, I think. Anyway, end of turn. Well, this is difficult. On the one hand, I'm not too far committed over here yet that I couldn't just say, hey, you know what, let's just play some defense over here and then focus on either of these. But it would take a long time to get my armies repositioned. If I enter the war, then I'm at war with Carthage and they could immediately start hitting me in Italy. If I do this, it breaks the alliance, but then everyone on my northwest hates me. I'm going to risk it and try a defensive war against Carthage and hope that things go well. Okay.
We are a mighty people.
Our warriors.
Well, I kind of wish I could go back in time. And stick to my plan, because having these guys already positioned in Italy would be very valuable right now. What the? What the? No, 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 no. You don't get to have an army there. Let's just raise random whoever, stick them in an army that has a little bit of veterancy. Make them a good, healthy infantry unit that can survive a lot. And then attack, because we'll get the garrison reinforcements, and then auto-resolve. That kicks them out of my land. They've actually got some really high-tier units there. I'm going to release their captives. Oh boy. This is getting tricky now. Let's actually do a spear army here. Just gonna name it that so I can try and remember what I'm doing with it. But let's start to get a whole bunch of those thorax spears. Just so we have a little something over here in case they bring more armies quickly. Or like in case they bring more armies before I can get these guys back over. Because I think these guys should be able to hold pretty well. Our garrisons should do alright. I don't think they'll be able to land and attack any of our cities all at once, so that should at least leave us time to hire mercenaries, and Italy should have no shortage of mercenaries. Alright, this is good. This campaign's starting to get a little bit intense. We have the food here to upgrade this. Yes, we do. I almost want this episode to run long now. Just do a 2-hour episode and see what happens. Because I get really excited when this kind of thing starts to happen in a campaign. So some of these are better for trade. I'm going to go with the gold mine complex because it doesn't give me empire maintenance problems. We can afford to do that in terms of food. Parthia is looking a little bit scary right now. It's fall, so next turn is winter, so I'd rather not move into... What I was thinking about doing is moving in a little bit, and then next turn having the movement range to get all the way out to Galatia's final settlement. I mean, I'm going to need to go to war with Parthia eventually anyway. Alright. Now, diplomatically, let's see if there's any chance Carthage would just peace out with us immediately. I didn't think so, because they're listed as way more powerful than us, which is scary because we are clearly the second most powerful nation in the game right now, unless someone over here is a superpower. So I cannot... Oh no, this is even worse. I am going to need 2 armies over here. I cannot afford an offensive war against Carthage right now. Just straight up can't afford it. But if I don't deal some blows to them, we can't get peace. I'm not going to be able to out-navy them. I've really got to end the episode. We're probably quite a bit over time. Well, a couple of minutes overtime by now, but I want to check this. just how much would it take to get peace, or are they completely closed off to peace?
You unworthy word.
Okay, so they would accept it for 160,000. They would accept it for 112,000. Okay, so we might be paying 64,000 to get peace with them. That's something to think about. But in the meantime, I'm going to end the episode here, and I'm really going against my gut, because my gut says the way to win is never have two fronts. And right now I'm about to open a third by going in here aggressive. Oh boy. You know what? It'll be a fun challenge. We're going to give it a go anyway. Anyway, so this is the end of this episode. If you guys are enjoying, if you're excited for the next one, you should be, because I'm excited for the next ones, the next couple of episodes. They're about to get very much more intense. And I'm actually going to have to be smart with my troop movement again, which I haven't needed to do since the beginning of the game. So anyway, we'll see you in the next one.